Now on Denver 7 News at 10. 46 years ago to the day, a community remembers the 144 lives lost in a tragic flood.
It'll always be part of our lives.
We talked to survivors about that day
I saw a 25-foot wall of water coming towards us.
and their efforts to make sure their loved ones are never forgotten.
I was really scared. I'm 81. I got 4 grandkids.
Plus, a Denver man seeking justice after he was attacked while walking in his neighborhood. Denver 7 helps him get answers. And as prices for basic needs continue to rise, we are working with local food banks to help Colorado families. How you can help too. Thank you for joining us on Denver 7 News at 10. I'm Jacqueline Allen. Today marks 46 years since the deadliest flash flood in Colorado history, the Big Thompson Canyon flood that hit near the town of Drake in Larimer County. Even today, this is the same area we have been seeing flash floods just in the past few weeks. In a matter of hours, July 31st, 1976, a 20-foot wall of water swept through the canyon, completely flooding the town and killing 144 people. 5 people were never found. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon spoke with the survivors of the flood about the past and the present.
Years pass by as fast as the water rushes through Big Thompson Canyon.
I can still feel the earth shaking.
But for Barbara Anderson and her daughter Tina,
The smell I can still smell today.
July 31st, 1976 feels like it was only yesterday.
It'll always be part of our lives.
My visual of a war zone.
The two survived one of the deadliest flash floods in Colorado's history. And remember those they lost, more than 140 people.
Did you see these really pretty orange flowers?
At a memorial in the mountains where all of their names are listed.
I lost my best friend, Teresa. She was 10.
Her mom was instrumental in making this memorial a reality.
It's a place for people to come and heal.
And all of the bricks at the memorial, they were bought by donors, most of them survivors or people who lost family and friends in the flood. That money spent on the bricks built this memorial, and any excess money goes to scholarships of people who had relatives lost in the flood.
I saw a 25-foot wall of water coming towards us. That's going to be my very last breath on this earth.
Deborah Watts, looking at pictures from the day she thought would be her last. A day where she was cut badly, but a day where one question haunts her more than any scar.
Where are the kids? And I said, Aaron's gone, the 3.5-year-old. I said, I know he was washed away.
Her son wouldn't be found for weeks, but his name is one of those kept alive by the community.
If you can't remember the past, the future isn't got much for you.
Because no matter how many years pass, what the flood couldn't take from the survivors remains.
It is amazing what a disaster will do, and it did bring people together. And that is what this memorial does. It brings people together.
Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Digging a little deeper, the people living in this town had little to no warning as the floods came their way. According to the National Weather Service, the storm front stalled over a central portion of the Big Thompson River watershed around 6:30 p.m. A flash flood warning was not issued until 11 p.m. A government report blamed ground observers not answering phone calls and some other issues because phone service was knocked out in this area. Now, we have more coverage of the floods and a complete timeline on our website, thedenverchannel.com. The state of Colorado is shutting down a branch of a well-known private preschool after claims of abuse and neglect. The Primrose School of Briargate in Colorado Springs has had its license suspended. An inspection reported children unattended on playgrounds, staff sleeping when they were supposed to be supervising children. The Primrose School Franchising Company says after an internal investigation, it has terminated the franchise agreement with that location. A tragic accident at Empower Field. Denver 7 has learned a woman fell to her death at the end of the Kenny Chesney concert last night. Police say the woman was sitting on an escalator railing, fell to the concourse below, and died from her injuries. They are calling it an accidental death. Now, in a statement, Stadium Management Company says, "We extend our deepest sympathies to the loved ones of the woman involved in the tragic incident that occurred at the end of Saturday's concert at Empower Field at Mile High. There's nothing more important than the safety of our guests, and Stadium Management Company is in communication with the Denver Police Department as it investigates this unfortunate situation." And Kenny Chesney is also reacting tonight. In a statement, he says, in part, I was devastated to learn of the loss of someone after our show. Life is precious. Sharing music brings us together, and that love we share makes us so much more. For the lady who came to share that love, there are no words. For her friends and family's loss, I grieve with them and for them. The coroner's office will release the woman's identity in the coming days. Now, this isn't the first time someone has fallen to their death at that stadium. Back in 2016, a man fell 60 feet to his death over a railing there at Empower Field. His family sued the stadium, which ended in a confidential settlement. Over at Coors Field in 2011, a man fell 20 feet to his death after trying to slide down a staircase railing. Back in 2003, 32 fans were hurt after a 3-story high escalator malfunctioned. An 81-year-old Denver man wants justice after he was attacked while out on a walk by a group of people. He says when he first reported it to Denver police, he didn't even get a call back. Tonight, Denver 7's Jessica Porter is helping him get answers.
It's not uncommon to hear from Denver residents unimpressed by the lack of response by police. But I pressed for answers about why an 81-year-old assault victim couldn't even get a call back.
Frederick Harris walks 5 days a week in Montbello.
I usually go to Peoria. Sometimes I walk down 56.
A traumatic experience has changed his route and his feelings about justice.
When she hit me, it hit me right in my eye because, it had a cut under my eye and hit me in my mouth, and I had blood in both places.
Back in April, he heard 3 dogs while walking and crossed this street to avoid them.
When you hear pit bulls, it could be any other kind of dog, but when you hear one, you get scared automatically.
Harris says he loves dogs and tried to scare them away, hitting the ground with a golf club he carries for protection. But he says when one dog lunged at him, he struck it in self-defense.
I said, "Man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your dog." And she hit me right here and right here.
Harris says he was also accosted by 4 family members of the dog owner. Neighbors stepped in to keep things from escalating.
I could have got hurt bad.
3 months later, he says Denver police won't call him back, and he wants the person who assaulted him charged.
I would like to know, what are they investigating? The people that moved out, what are you investigating? You talk to the witnesses.
Harris wants justice, and to know what happened to him matters.
I was really scared. I'm 81. If I was 21, I probably wouldn't think about it. But, I'm 81. I got 4 grandkids.
When I questioned Denver police about this case, they said they had recently been in contact with Mr. Harris. Harris confirmed DPD called him the day after I was in communication with them. No charges have been filed, and they are still investigating. Jessica Porter, Denver 7.
Glad he is getting a response. Thank you, Jessica. All right, who says there's no such thing as a free ride? Starting tomorrow, RTD buses and trains, you can ride them for free for the next month. This is known as the Zero Fare Better Air Initiative. RTD is using a state grant that was just passed by Colorado lawmakers this year to subsidize more of these free fares during high ozone months. Now, the first goal is to reduce ozone and improve air quality. The second goal is to encourage people to start taking public transit again. So we spoke with riders about what this will mean for them.
It'll help me out a lot, and then it should help out a lot of others, and I feel like everybody should just take the advantage. That's just extra money.
Oh, sounds good. Good for the people, Right now, a lot of people no job.
I have artistic endeavors that I would like to accomplish this month, so it helps kind of use that, shuffle that money around to be used in a different way.
And the free fares run the entire month of August. If it goes well, RTD might use free fares for this grant again in the future. With the cost of food and many other essential items on the rise, families are struggling to pay for basic necessities, eggs, milk, and bread. Food Bank of the Rockies is spending more than 3 times what they were spending in 2019 to help meet this increased need. Now, 7 Days to Help End Hunger is a week-long fundraiser designed to raise crucial funds to support Food Bank of the Rockies and the work they are doing to nourish people facing hunger. So donations will be accepted starting tomorrow, and Denver 7 Gives is matching the first $10,000 raised dollar for dollar. We will have live coverage from Food Bank of the Rockies all morning long, starting at 4:30 a.m. Coming up on Denver 7 News at 10, a big-time blacklight race goes dark after taking a lot of people's money.
I've hit dead end after dead end.
Contact Denver 7 takes a closer look at the organizers' credentials and complaints. Plus, wild weather is causing problems for airlines across the country.
If it is not safe to fly because of a storm or because a runway is too hot or because of other ongoing and new climate concerns, that leads to delays and cancellations.
How Colorado engineers are helping prepare for climate change impacts in the sky. Next.